Doop, doop, doop. All right. Okay. What did I just do? I think I just did that. Let's look at Gamestop. All right. Welcome, everybody. Actually, let me try to get the chat up here. I wanted to mute it first, then go. There we go. All right. Chat is up. All right. Goodness, how are we doing today? All right, so it seems like we're going down again. Oh my goodness, what's going on this morning? Apparently, there's a non-farm payroll or whatever report came out. Job report seemingly doing fine. Nothing's going out of ordinary, and so I guess if the Feds are data dependent, what should they been? They should have not lowered the rate, that 50 basis point. So, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Okay. So, let's see. Yes, so Jimmy is coming down again. So, this is a 1-minute chart. Much here. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay. All right. So typically, I just doom scrolling around X over here and to see what is going on. Some of the time you get, updated and people just posting random things on here. And again, because of the lower volume here, you're not going to see much. And it's almost like you're trading like a penny stock over here. It's a terrible, terrible, painful process that they are trying to ensue or deliver for a GME shareholder here. Of course, this is nothing new. They've been doing this for quite some time. Or again, there's just not enough attention for this company for people to be here all the time, constantly. And I think, a lot of attention is being paid to crypto at the moment. So again, because crypto went a little bit higher. This morning, of course, there's a lot of good development for crypto. XRP, XLM is my largest holding at the moment. So, yeah, and if the attention is going towards crypto, obviously, GME is not giving some love by the investor over here, or it could be that shitty. I mean, who knows? But of course, I don't believe that. Again, the volume is being dried out for whatever reason. Perhaps they're trying to get the last drop of blood out of you, and so yeah, just have to, I guess, stomach it. But again, so when in doubt, zoom out, right? So if you go to a 1 day, right here, 1 day candle, you could see there's a couple things that you kind of want to observe over here. Because look at this, right? We used to be traded at $10. Now it's 20. Now it's 24 something. So will it drop down? So long as we are not going to take out this lows right here, lower lows. Okay, so yeah, we might be coming down there for sure. I mean, for sure. When I said for sure, of course, nothing is for sure. Okay, here we go. So that's the next level we're gonna look at. There you go. Hello, hello. How are you doing this morning? Thank you so much for joining. But anyway, so this is what is happening right now as we speak. Not much going on here with GME. But hold on, let me see. Let me go back to today's trading. Yeah, low volumes, very low, very low. And it's been low for quite some time here. So what I'm looking for right now is that basic support over here. Of course, right now we're also at a support as well. So let me go back here so I could draw that support. So for now, we're gonna look into try to find some sort of stability over here. Again, you guys, I'm not a day trader, so I'm just here monitoring the price action at the moment. Of course, so why do I put that one? Hold on, let me go back over here. So this is the recent one, right? And this is why I said the support over here, if we're holding up here, because again, this is the only most recent support that I could see at this price level. Now, I think a better support would be around here. If we could bounce off of this, this is the last line of defense over here, around $23 or so. Okay, so let me go back to the lower time frame here. There we go. So that's what we want to bounce off of. Let me change this to the blue. Sure, why not? All right, so if we don't defend this line, we are going lower. How low? Well, let's see. Looks like we are bouncing off right now. That's pretty good. Another 5%. So yeah, that's what we're monitoring. Not much here, you guys. But anyway, so we're just hanging out here for a while. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. Depends if I run out of topic to say, run out of things to cover. But normally, for those people who just joined, I cover a whole bunch of topic here. Sorry. Okay. So currently, Jimmy is bouncing. Okay, off of that support, you could see there's a buy signal over here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna give that real estate, small little real estate there. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so with Jimmy X account, what is happening over here? Oftentimes people would post stuff, and I have to kind of be careful on taking those as a face value, because you never know whether these are bots or trying to entice you to buy call, buy puts, and all that stuff. So always try to mislead you in order to take money from you, right? So the safest way to do it is to buy shares. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so we have a lot of development here in terms of like what's happening behind the scene. Um, the company itself is doing well. So okay. Okay, so what's going on here? It's been doing well. Okay, look at this. So people are actually using GameStop to shop. And, when people are telling you that nothing is happening on the storefront, but look at this. Again, this is testament to the Pokemon release, okay? And they do have a lot of sales. And so it's almost like those midnight release type of situation here on gaming. So now instead of games, you have Pokemons. And we still do have games that are releasing, midnight release and all that stuff. That's crazy, you guys. Yeah, I have no doubt that this upcoming earnings report is going to post an amazing number. So perhaps this is why market maker are trying to, at least lower the launching level of launching pad, right? The lower the share price would be, is the better for them in terms of covering. Now I don't have the live feed on unusual. What is it, unusual well or whatever? So I don't think it's because I'm not a day trader. Why should I spend money on that? And so, all right, little thing. Okay, so let's take a look at crypto over here. Of course, there's a lot of development happening in the crypto space as well. But let's see. I see a whole bunch of video. Now I should. But okay, let me try to find this real quick. Okay. Lots of markets are efficient because of the active manager setting the price of the security. Can you believe that? This guy thinks that the market is sufficient because they get to set the price. Trying to drive value for companies towards where they think they should be valued. Can you believe that? This should be the biggest scandal ever. You know why? Because this is called price fixing. You're fixing the price. The price should be determined by the natural demand, supply and demand. The ebbs and flow of supply and demand. When people are not willing to sell, these people should not be able to suppress the price, but they do it. You know what I wanted the Doge, the government of efficiency, to look into is this type of bullcrap that is happening in the markets right now. And the only way that they could do this is, I don't know, It's to stop the shenanigan, right? Reg show stop the market ability or market maker ability to naked short or to, just, I guess, made up shares in order to make liquidity in the market. If you want liquidity, why not bring the price higher? Because again, if you don't have any seller, what would happen? There's a lot of demand for your stock. When there's a lot of demand, your stock price should go up. Period. So, and if they could, bring the price down, suppress the price down, you know what would happen too? They could also elevate the price on a certain security as well. I bet you anything, Palantir is probably still elevated at this moment. Okay. PLTR. Hello, guy. What's up? No transparency, of course, right? See? It's 111 already. It's crazy, right? But of course, this is the the stock that they want you to buy into when it's overinflated, and then it gaps up like crazy over here when they want it to gap up. Like, who could participate in this? Retail are being scammed. The market should not be like this. Of course, for some reason, people are still, advocate for this type of bullshit. But whatever, it's a conspiracy theories, right? It's a conspiracy that, these people are not doing something to the market, when they have the ability to change it. And of course, there's a lot of, stuff that is coming out right now, as Doge was trying to expose all of the bullcrap that is happening behind closed door. So I bet you anything, like the stock market would have a lot of dirty skeleton over here too, on people like this who have the power to change the structure of markets over here. And so, to give you the illusion that you are trading in a fair fight for retail, both of us, everybody could participate. That's BS, by the way. And so until we clean out a whole bunch of this type of rhetoric, you would never have a fair market, in my opinion. So, yeah, just my 2 cents here. And of course, stop with the freaking fine system. They have to lose their license for sure. Like these people, the minute they do short naked, even China, okay? The Communist Party over here, they have a better market structure than us. Yes, of course, they could manipulate it as well. But apparently he was banned. Ken Griffin is banned from China to be a market maker. Can you believe that? What else? The fact that Chinese market is a better market to be trading as a retail, We're in trouble because of people like this, right? Again, he's just a small part of the problem here. But because he's the gatekeeper on, orders into the stock market, he has more power, in my opinion, to kind of get everything in check. All right, guys, let's see. It's crazy. I don't know how people look at this. Okay. So I know, he's not the only person over here. He's not the only issue that the market has to address. the Congress, the people that are making those rules, the SEC, obviously, right? If they have capturing the SEC in some way, you're not going to see any meaningful changes to the market structure, unless something has to be done by it. Like the punishment has to fit the crime type thing, because currently they're just getting a few $1 million worth of fines, and it's not meaningful at all. If I go rob a bank and make $10 million from the bank robbery, and at the end of the day, when I get caught, I only have to pay $10,000. Of course, I'm going to rob another bank. I wouldn't rob a bank, but an example, okay? So everybody would have done that, and it would be so scandalous, right? But life doesn't happen that way. But because these people have so many connections and, closer to the power that be, they allowed to do that because they're stealing from the poor instead of stealing from the rich, right? Can you imagine if a few pennies here and there is stolen from the billionaire class? You think they're not going to address that real quick? Come on. That's an amazing business model. Of course. I mean, again, like any idiot would be able to make money if you get to see every orders out there, like on the ordering book. And then on top of that, you have another company that trade against that are allowed to trade against that. Of course, you're going to front run, for sure. Like, and if you're allowed to do that without any repercussion, you're going to do it. Make billions of dollars, pay a few $1 million fine. Yes. And that's why you see stupid shit like this right there. Right? Even though, you have a lot of buy orders out there that has, now, of course, eventually these type of shorting tactic will have to be solved later on. But again, that's why you see the spike and all that stuff, because they wait for the settlement system, and they kind of push it so far, as far as they can before they have to let the steam out, right? And my point is that this is why you see this explosion right here. You see this explosion here? That is them letting off steam. Okay? Because again, they have been building this pressure. And then boom. Right? Perhaps they're waiting until the earnings. If we are not able to beat the revenue, I think they're gonna get the excuse to drop the price down again, right? So yeah, just be careful. That's why you don't want to do too much of your calls. Okay, don't do that, and be safe. Have enough dry powder to accumulate more. Simple. All right, let's see. Goodness. Oh, look at the nose. I love that. Okay, falling wedge. All right, people are okay, that's bullish, right? A lot of TAs, you guys, very astute in their observation when it comes to TA. Let me see. Okay, all right. What's happening? Okay, on balance volume coming down, kind of staying. the slope is very shallow versus the slope of the price. Okay, RSI deep. Okay, all right. Crazy. What? Oh my god. This is what happened, you guys, when you're doom scrolling on X for any type of news to send this stock going higher. But anyway, nothing will waste your time more than any when you go on X, right? And so, okay, let me kind of switch off gear real quick because I think it's worth kind of speculating on the crypto aspect of things here. I really think that this space is going to blow up. I think they're going to try to kind of draw attention to crypto first and then, kind of quietly send GME go higher, after people are, talking about crypto. Now, I saw a segment on YouTube that's okay. Give me 1 second here. And it was talking about debanking, like crypto. Hold on, it was on Fox News, and okay, mute. Now, this segment is about crypto. Let's say company, okay, and what they are, experiencing is a debanking. It's a silent way to suppress crypto, and this is, I don't know if it's just happening when Biden got in, but I think it was also happening when Trump was also a president the first time too. So it's unfair to say that this is the Democrat issue. Back then, of course, the big banks out there, they don't want crypto to be on the center stage because they're trying to suppress it as much as they can in order to accumulate into it. And again, this is why they're ready to sell it to the masses at the moment. This is the tactic that they've been doing for centuries, okay, you guys, because you have to poop and scoop some asset that they don't want you to be. And so they just poo-poo it, right? Oh, crypto is a scam. And again, this is both sides. It's not just the Republican. It's not just the Democrats, okay? For a legislation to go through, you need the agreements from the Democrats as well. And so don't just blame it on, don't just blame one issue on a Democratic side, right? And again, this is why I think Fox News is always biased towards, Republican point of view. And so, and every bad thing, quote unquote, bad thing that they deemed bad for the people, they usually blame it on the Democrats. And right now, because of the Doge, right, the government of efficiency or whatever, finding out a whole bunch of corruptions that, kind of have the names of the famous Democrats out there, it seems like they're piling on right now. And so they're blaming crypto regulation on Democratic side. Okay. So again, Trump famously, the first time when he was president, he didn't care about crypto. Right? He thinks that it's not, valuable of some sort. And again, I'm saying that, people are allowed to change their mind if they are indeed, coming to a different conclusion, So just because he have one point of view doesn't mean that he are not allowed to have the other point of view, the opposite point of view. And so, people could change. But anyway, so I just want to kind of set this video up so that people don't think that it's just the Democratic fault. Okay, so let's listen in.
Legal officer who testified at that hearing today, Paul Graywall. Paul, how on earth did it happen? I want to know names of who was responsible for this.
It's great to be with you all. Of course, what we were focused on today was the particular effort on the part of the FDIC to implement Operation Choke Point 2.0. And the people involved were, at one level, supervisors, examiners deep within the FDIC who were tasked by people much higher up, including the leadership of the FDIC, and even beyond that, others across the administration, to slow the bank's efforts to provide basic banking services to crypto. Now, the crypto industry obviously took great concern from all this, but the issue really goes beyond just crypto, because if it's crypto today, it could be any American industry tomorrow. And so we thought it was important to shine a bright light on what happened.
Okay, Paul, no doubt, no law-abiding business should be denied banking services because of some political whim. Now, you and your colleagues in the industry have talked a lot about how you weren't even able to get basic services, make deposits, have checking accounts, et cetera. Is that all you're seeking? Because I think for some people who are maybe skeptical of these new so-called currencies, there's a concern, are you really looking for loans perhaps backed by these coins, crypto creations, what have you, which I think some people...
I mean, even the reporter doesn't know what they're asking. You just see, like, this is why I feel like it's a bit rushed, right? People who are trying to get any type of information at all about crypto at large, it's a very new asset, well, new, quote unquote, right? And again, this is why I feel like crypto in general is a very niche, okay? And not many people. Hey, hi, because I can. You're welcome. Welcome to the chat. Now I lost my train of thought, but my point is that it's very new to the rest of the world, and so even at this price point, $100,000 Bitcoin is still nascent, because again, nobody knows what is this cryptocurrency or this thing, right? But again, so this is a free market, right? That we should be fostering. At least the innovation in that space has some value. Yes, there are scams out there. I'm telling you, a lot of scammers. That they're just there to rug pull on the investor out there, right? Who make meme coins, fart coins, or whatever. Kind of to mislead the public that they could get rich in 2 days, right? Yes. I'm not saying you cannot, but again, those type of coin doesn't have any utility base. Yeah. And so you just focus on the right chain and you'll be fine. Right.
Would be concerned about.
What we're looking for is no better treatment and no worse treatment than any other industry. In this particular case, what the FDIC sought to prevent was banks providing basic checking accounts, services that would allow their customers to buy and sell things like Bitcoin and other fundamental products that any American industry needs to be able to offer to its customers, and needs the banks in order to be able to do that. Unfortunately, under the previous administration, the FDIC took it upon themselves to use their supervisory authorities over banks and, in the name of risk management, essentially prevent the banks from offering these services, no matter how little the risk, and even where there was no risk at all. That's not the law, and that's certainly not American due process.
Would they have done it to AI really quickly?
If they did it to crypto, they'll do it to AI. They'll do it to any other industry, and frankly, any other person who's out of political favor with the administration. That should give us all concern.
Yep. Paul Graywall, thank you so much for speaking out, and you keep talking and naming names.
Naming names. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I mean, again, that segment is pretty eye-opening, right? And it just makes you wonder why do they want to suppress, that type of innovation happen in the space? Of course, if you've been in the XRP, I guess army. I wouldn't say army because I'm not part of any group, but if you've been investing in XRP for quite some time, you would know, especially during the SEC lawsuit, which it's still going on at the moment. It hasn't been officially dropped yet, but there's a lot of victory that is happening for the XRP ledger. But again, there's still infighting among XRP shareholder, XRP holder versus Bitcoin holder. Again, the the fight is because of decentralization, right? They think that XRP is centralized and all that stuff, but in my opinion, they're not. They have, I don't know. Again, it's too technical for me to even speak on that because I'm not a coder. I'm not an expert on that. But based on the enough information that I've gotten from listening to a lot of credible people, I feel that it's just a different type of distributing tokens, right? So for Bitcoin, it's more like proof of work. You need to use energy in order to get some Bitcoin, whether through mining or use your money to buy into the network in order to get a Bitcoin on your wallet. And so you could argue that, the money that you spend on buying those piece of Bitcoin, you have to go to work to get that money in order to contribute to the network here. And for miners, of course, they have to, approve transactions from one block to another. While XRP ledger, they already have the token being mined. It's pre-mined. You don't have to, go to work to get that. And in order to distribute it, they have to, again, distribute those coins to the rest of the network. And how do you distribute that? You sell it. So that's that's how they did it. And so again, that could be that's why they were sued, because those tokens were pre-mined, was made up. Okay. Yeah, again, like it's a different way of distributing. So the maximum amount of people, the more people who have the token that was pre-mined, and usually it's the creator, they were able to make that money out of thin air, right? But again, this is the technology that they were able to. I mean, at the early on days of XRP, they were giving those for free to people to test out, and there was a way for people to get it for free. But again, because the network wasn't that popular, Bitcoin was the most popular one. That is why XRP was never kind of considered. And on top of that, there's a lot of misinformation about the chain as well, to try to say that Bitcoin, infighting at that time. Okay, let's see. Try to fix this thing here. But yeah, so in its early inception, there's a lot of misinformation about the ledger itself. And I mean, you could view that as because the Bitcoin network was pretty slow at the moment, and I think XRP creator, they were building XRP in order to be able to make Bitcoin transfer more accessible, faster, right? So let me see. Because if you were to look into what is it? There's a XRP. There was a video that showed that 13 years ago, or 13 years ago, I don't know, shows that XRP ledger was able to transact Bitcoin, send Bitcoin through the XRP ledger cheaper and faster. Let me try to find that one. I'm sure if you XRP. Okay. David Short. I think that's the. Not find that one. Maybe I spelled the guy's name wrong. I think it's this one right here. Okay, while that's playing.
If you're actively buying and selling stocks.
Okay, while that's waiting, let's see what's happening with GameStop over here. Very muted, still very low volume, nothing much. Okay, so this video was 6 years ago. And again, back in 2013, Ripple Net or Ripple Lab was called Open Coins. And again, this is the guy who, co-wrote the code for XRP Ledger. And the purpose of XRP Ledger is to, make faster payment, right? Because they saw the problem that Bitcoin cannot solve. Because again, it's too slow for its intended purposes. Okay. So if you want to be the global currency, obviously you're going to have to be much faster because the whole world is trying to transact on your ledger, right? And so you cannot be, it cannot be taken 15 minutes in order to send one transaction. And if the network is congested, then you won't be able to do that. Now, of course, I'm not saying that Bitcoin doesn't have any value. Obviously, the Bitcoin network could be used for, a store of value. And so when people are not transacting on the chain, then you need another way in order to, transact and of course, like cheaper to do that too, because every Bitcoin that you are paying to the miner, yes, it's become less and less expensive as time goes on, but it's still like if, a piece of Bitcoin become $100,000 and it's going to become $1 million in the near future, it's going to cost you, a piece of that, of course, to the miner. Satoshi or whatever they call it. But with Ripple, though, it's a lot cheaper to do that because, they have so many, like they have 100 billion tokens out there, right? And so it's divisible by however many zeros. So let's listen in here.
Thank you so much. Great to be back at Finovate. My name is Chris Larson. I'm CEO of OpenCoin. OpenCoin is the company that's building the Ripple network. Again, before OpenCoin, I was CEO of Prosper, a peer-to-peer lending company, and then before that, CEO of eLoan, which was an online lender. So a lot of you may have heard about Bitcoin. It's been in the news quite a bit lately. Ripple is really a second generation of the Bitcoin concept. And as many of you know, Bitcoin and Ripple are really two things. They are a new global currency, what we call a math-based currency. But maybe even as more importantly, they are global free payments networks. And what we've tried to focus in with Ripple is that second part. What we're trying to build is a global payment network that allows anyone, anywhere in the world, to send any currency basically for free, that is irreversible, so that you can make payments much more efficient. So we look at the currency that we've created in Ripple really as more of an enabler of a new global payment system. So let me show you briefly what that looks like. So here.
This is important too because again, people don't really get to see this type of presentation unless you're really early on into the XRP. I actually saw this one about 4 years ago. When I was doing a lot of research on, crypto here. And so these presentation is really eye-opening, right? Of course, this is very early on here, and not many people are subscribed to your network. The problem about like early adapter to anything, and I could kind of draw that correlation to GME as well. It's any new ideas, it takes time for people to catch up to you. So yes, it may take 13 years, or 12 years before people caught on to what you're doing. It may take, I hate to say this because again, people will say like, that's not, like I'm going to sell it now then, right? But without even understanding the value, that 13 year could do. And again, this 13 years worth of like Ripple has been working behind the scene quietly. Yes, there are press, I guess, quietly to build that network. I don't know. I'm hoping they're not evil, conniving or anything. But I think the true intention will come to light later. But I think the true intention for these people is, again, to innovate in the space of payments, right? Quick payments, fast and instant. And then you get a settlement built into that too. Now, I think the reason why there's so much misinformation about the XRP, Ripple Lab, the XRP ledger, is because of its potential that it could take over the old banking system, and the incumbents who are, thrive off of fees, high fees to use your banking service. I mean, think about the checking account that you have right now for the bank. They still charge you fees, even though they have all your money. Even though they don't give you any cuts of the money that they lend out to wherever, hedge fund or whatever, right? They get to keep everything. And so, I mean, that's why the olden day, any checking account they would give you some, fee. I mean, some fee, sorry. Yeah, some, interest on the money that you deposit into the banking system. But now it's the opposite. If you want their service, because they're so big, right? Without that network, you won't be able to buy your food, using your credit card and all that stuff. So the system is kind of like enclosed in that. If you want to participate in the system, you have to pay into the system rather than, at least get some of the money that you deposited and get some, interest on top of that. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys. But anyway, so my point is like the earlier you are, the more pain you experience in the short time. Okay. And so, but again, the reward would be so amazing. And when people realize, oh shit, you actually have a good, realize the value later on, because again, it's building, it's snowballing. Like, those little tiny incremental changes will convince people later on down the line that you have to pay attention to this now, or else you're going to miss out. Type thing, right?
Here I have two wallets. These are open source applications that tie into Ripple, which is a distributed open source, will be open sourced protocol. In this one wallet, you can picture this as the sender, and the second wallet, the receiver of a payment. Could be a merchant, could be a friend. You'll notice in this first wallet that I've got a number of different currencies. Again, Ripple is multi-currency. So let's start off with Ripple. Ripples are the native currency of the Ripple network. They're analogous to Bitcoin in that they are currencies without a central authority. So the amount of those currency can never be changed by any human. It's simply based on a math equation. There can never be any more of them. They therefore can never be debased. And they can be sent to anybody on the Ripple network without counterparty risk. So if I want to go ahead and send Ripples to my friend, the other wallet, I'll go ahead and send 10 Ripples and go ahead and confirm that transaction. Now the distributed system is
because I can. Yes, I'm in Moran's Discord.
Going through a process of consensus. It just reached consensus, so that payment now has been made. That payment is permanent. It cannot be reversed. So merchants will like that. And again, there's no central authority behind that. Let's say I want to, let me show you in my wallet, I've got some other currencies. I want to send another one. Notice that I've also got Bitcoin in my Ripple wallet. Again, Ripple is multi-currency, and it's interoperable to Bitcoin. So you can use your Ripple wallet, you can use the Ripple network to also send Bitcoins. Let me show you how that works real briefly. So again, I'll send my friend, this time a payment in Bitcoin. I'll choose a small amount because Bitcoins are expensive. And it's going to calculate paths. And as you can see, I've got a number of currencies I can send. I'm going to go ahead and send Bitcoin. My friend will receive Bitcoin.
So, okay, let's see. How much Bitcoin did he send then? Now, when he said it was expensive, so let's see. The year 2013, see how much Bitcoin. I bet you anything that one is probably like $10,000. We'll see. Okay, so back then, I'm just curious. I haven't done that. But anyway, because yes, I do have Moran's Discord, but I usually don't check it though. it's like, too much information all at once, but I don't play around in that. Oh my goodness, what the heck? There we go. Bitcoin. I want to check to see back then, 2013, right? Okay. It's crazy, you guys. Okay, so that's 20. Dang. Okay, 17. So again, these people are like early into this digital asset, okay? And again, that's why it's so important for at least to anyone. See, you can't even register it, you know? And I think this is when I start to kind of pay attention to where Bitcoin would be. Around this time, I think 14, yeah. 2014 or so. Again, like I saw it, I read about it, and it's like, but again, nobody could expect Bitcoin to be this massive. Like if you ask, say to these people over here back in those days, and even for him, you see when he said it, like, oh, Bitcoin is expensive, right? When you have to wonder at what point did he buy it at? I'm sure he bought it at like, $100. $100 or even lower, $50 a coin. And he still thinks that it was expensive. Okay, again, it's in his own word, right? And so, can you imagine? It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, you could say that this is due to the inflationary as well. And on top of that, as time goes on, more and more people join in, right, into the network. And because it's a fixed supply, you could say, it's a natural supply and demand. There's a lot of demand for this type of thing, a fixed value, nobody could debase it type thing. And that's the problem that we have right now, is that every government in the whole world is doing the same thing at a mass scale, trillions of dollars. And pretty soon it's going to become quadrillions of dollars over here. And so again, this is why, if you're not aware of it, it's gonna like literally 5 years from now, everything's gonna be double from where you are. And so if you get in early on Bitcoin, you wouldn't have to worry about on that front, obviously. Yes, it's volatile, but I mean, you see, when people are telling you Bitcoin crash, what is this? 82% from the top to the bottom, right? What price are they crashing to? $3,000. Okay, so let's say you are the unluckiest person in the world, okay? Meaning that every time you buy at the top. Okay? So let's try that. Again, there's only 3 cycles here. I don't know. Yeah, they don't have price history. So let's say you put 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, right? So there's 5 different level over here. Even if the unluckiest person in the world, if you consistently buy, let's say over here too, right? The point is you would still be ahead, right? Because your average probably would be around here. It's crazy. And that's why, again, if you could stomach the ups and down, over time, you're going to be fine. you know. And yeah, I wish I I understood the network. I understood where the technology is going to get to. And again, yeah, this is technology. Obviously, there's a risk in that too, right? That perhaps, because of the quantum computer, somebody might be able to figure out what your seed phrase is. But there will be new technology to try to safeguard, the value that comes from Bitcoin. I mean, if the billionaires out there are buying into it, obviously, they're gonna try to find ways to protect their asset here. Okay. So we're coming to that point in time, the inflection point of institutional FOMO in. I'm sure institution already FOMO in already over here. Just slowly trying to indoctrinate more people, right? And again, to me, the value comes from the fixed supply and the transactability, the friction of movement of value is being taken away. I mean, think about it. How can you send $1 billion worth of gold without costs associated with it? If you have to transport $1 billion worth of gold from one place to another, you need a lot of security, right? While Bitcoin, you don't need that. You could do that online at an instant. Well, using the XRP ledger over here. And so that friction is not there. So that has some value in it. Just that alone has value in it. The fact that you could easily, send it anywhere in the world at an instant. So again, this is where Ripple has been kind of at the forefront of that, trying to build as much as they can, and they've been building the network behind closed doors slowly. It's been 13 years. I mean, this conference was just the beginning of not beginning, of course, like it was around, I think 7 years after what Bitcoin was. But yeah, this is the early on. But anyway, you go search it for yourself if you want to get into it. But yeah, again, crypto, it's still, people still have a kind of, it's still early for most people. Let's see what's happening over here. Long time no see. What's up? Transacting in Bitcoin isn't as good as transacting in Monero. Okay, Monero. I don't have Monero. I know it was banned for a time being. I think, yes, Monero is a new generation of Bitcoin, for sure. But again, I don't know how, I have not used Monero, but I've heard briefly about it. Plus everyone see your Bitcoin transaction. Right. So there's no privacy there. I think there is some use case for transparency there, that everybody could see that that transaction, so that there's less nefarious thing. I think government funds should be on the blockchain for everybody to see. That could be a slippery slope there, right? Because if the government, but again, just my opinion here, I really think because of the public funding, everybody should be able to audit, your government, and anything that is happening in public, they're less likely to be egregious in that sense. So, that way, any politician would be forced to be squared, to be good people and not doing any deal behind closed door in order to screw people over, right? Because of money. And so it does have its function, for sure, to be transparent on the blockchain. Now, as far as the privacy, I think privacy should be afforded to the individual because, again, if you're a law-abiding citizen and you're not, do any crime, you should be able to have the freedom to buy anything without anyone checking on you 24/7, right? Because again, you're not harming anyone, unless they, the law enforcement has the reason to suspect you, due process and all that stuff. But then, everybody have the right to a trial, okay, without a jury trial. And so that's the only fair way to go about doing things. But again, like the more power you have afforded to one individual group, they're going to try to use it to their advantage. And I think, our democratic process has been hijacked by a lot of people who are good at, convincing people that they are actually doing good for in public, but then doing evil in the back, scamming people, right? Because they want more money for themselves and more power to themselves. The founder of our democracy has been, I don't know, again, we need to go back to the basic here. That people have civil rights and have the right to protest, have the right to have free speech, no matter how, offensive it is to a certain group. And that's the only way for the society to grow further, right? Because that foster innovation, foster good ideas, bad ideas, any ideas at all, in order to make a society much better than it is today. I think we've reverted backward, in my opinion, in the last decade, because we're just so oblivion, to a lot of things that is happening. We have a sense that, there's something's off, but we just can't pinpoint it. But then now you come out with a lot of stuff, like Doge, for example, kind of expose a lot of BS. I don't know if you guys kind of follow all that. But anyway, it's banned because it's so good and it's unstoppable. Of course, like I truly believe that. And I think somebody is threatened by it. Even the Bitcoin network, right? I don't know, again, the mechanism of Monero is, but it was banned, sure. But that's why, again, I think it's worth fighting for the digital, world, in the digital world, for the rights of individual. And I think that's going to be the next generation here, that have to kind of figure out how we go about having freedom on the digital world, because the people that are in power is going to try to gain as much power as they can in the digital world, and everything has been online, any business and all that stuff. So you have to be careful, right? To give so much power to a certain individual group of people, they will abuse it. And or if they're not the one that abuse it, the next power could use it to their advantage to try to control every aspect of your life, And again, like if people are falling asleep thinking that, oh, ChatGPT is a good thing, right? You know, they collect your information. They know what you do every time. I'm sure they know a lot more than people, you know, give them. I mean, again, like they're spying software and all that stuff. So it's crazy. It's really easy for them to kind of suppress certain ideas, and you know, if you don't give the liberty to the individual, I think we're all in trouble here. And I bet you anything right here, right? Because of the software that they're using on every brokerage, they know exactly where your move is before you even take that move. Algorithm. Okay. So I don't know how we're going to get away from that, but it is what it is. Government should be transparent. Yeah. So we should be private. Yep. I agree with that one. Again, unless you break the law and they have evidence, you know, to come after you. That's why warrant exists, right? That's why, you know, if you commit a crime, you know, for whatever reason, they have to prove it. They have the burden of proof to, that's why they said, you know, innocent until proven guilty. And so, you know, every law enforcement out there has become so lazy lately. I feel like they don't know how to investigate anymore, you know? And so, you know, because they just rely on ChatGPT to arrest somebody, right? Again, I'm just joking. But loosely, I feel like if we become that society that rely on ChatGPT, that rely on AI to make any decision, I think we're just going to go there. It's like, okay, even if it's not true, we're just going to take it as true because ChatGPT tell me. I mean, I cannot tell you enough time when people are saying that to me. It's like, well, ChatGPT said this, right? The same way, oh, Google said this, right? And I think, you know, this type of instrument used to be, remember the slogan for Google? Do no evil. I think it's becoming that now because it's been too big. And so like it's becoming open source, funneling to the narrow way of people thinking about life in general, right? And then you couple that with the algorithm. So every click that you click is tailored to what you want to hear. That's why you have such a, you know, diverse sets of facts, because Democrats will get their own democratic, you know, sets of facts, and Republican, because they're Republican, right? They're being shown just the Republican ideology. That's why, you know, when people are arguing, they're arguing about different things. So, I mean, the same facts, but they're spinning in a different direction here. Because again, you know, the people usually don't think for themselves. They usually look to other opinion more than their own. So that's dangerous, in my opinion. It's like if you don't teach yourself how to think for yourself, you'll be in a world of hurts, I think. Anyway, why am I ranting about this? Like, you could tell I love talking about politics and, you know, the larger idea about what it should be. The world should be this, the world should be that. But of course, like, you know, I'm just one person. Look at my channel. It's like I only have 200 subscribers. I mean, I just make this realization, you guys. Look at this. Look at this. It's pretty sad, actually, you know? With the... Let me show you something. Oh my God. Where am I? Goodness. Okay. Dashboard right here. What? No, 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 no. That's not what I want. What the heck? I'm trying to find something here. Okay, let me. That's dumb. That is dumb. Why is it not on here? Try to get to my page, you guys. But anyway, how are we doing today? Are we entertained? I'm gonna be here all day, you guys. So buckle up. Just watching this painful price action over here of GME. Of course, I'm gonna check some Max Payne later. What the heck? That's not a way to go. Are you kidding me? Why is it not showing me what I want to see? That is activating. Okay. What? Oh my God. For the life of me, I cannot find what I'm looking for. What? Nope, that's not it. This is painful, you guys. Too painful. Let's just stop what I'm doing right now. It's okay. Life will goes on. What I'm trying to say is that I have more video than subscriber, you know? So how can I change the world? Come on, you know? It's okay. It's life, right? You know? People just have to figure out what to do for themselves. Okay, so Monero for individual, Bitcoin, XRP for for the government, for sure. Of course, I mean, if people choose to have their transaction be on the blockchain, they could do that too. I'm for free, free society. Like if they think it's okay for those public blockchain to be seen. It's like, if I buy a cup of coffee and if I don't mind people knowing that I'm using, XRP or whatever blockchain to buy into coffee, that's fine, But it has to be a choice, and the more informed you are, the better in this space. Because again, you might not know what is happening behind closed door, that they're trying to harvest your data, harvest your lives, and in order to make more money for themselves. Like that's what ultimately what is happening. Meta becomes. How do you think Google, Meta, and all of those high-tech company becoming so big? Number one, which is willy-nilly giving them giving them all the data that they need in order to sell stuff to you. And that's how it was started. And then pretty soon, they run out of people to sell to, what is the next thing that they would do? They would work for the government. Okay. And so that's why there's a close relationship between Jeff Bezos and the CIA and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys know the connection there. And Mark Zuckerberg now kissing up to Trump all of a sudden. You have Elon Musk, Twitter and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, only time will tell how are we going to fight this, So there might be a lot of pain before you're going to see any improvement. Yeah, I mean, sorry to say. Anyway. Heading for Minority Report style Wisconsin. Of course, I think, again, that might be like 40 years away from now. By that time, oh my goodness, I'll be, 78. 78? No, 76. Oh my God, I don't even know how old I am. Crazy. All right. So what's happening right now? Let's see. The whole world at large. I don't know if you guys have been following, the Doge situation over here, right? It's pretty eye-opening, right? Again, I wish they focus on the Republican side as well. You think the old Republicans here are not taking money from any of those organizations? Come on, they do. But again, maybe because, Donald Trump is Republican, he doesn't want to expose the Republican side of things. It's hard for me to believe that only Democrats do this. No, that's not. It's almost like it's kind of politicized in that. Doge. Let's see what else. I'm just doom scrolling, you guys. Not much here. Looks like we're kind of picking up a little bit here on the price action. Not much craziness. What's going on with the... Okay. So XLM, I think, it has another function as well. It's, I guess the same exact protocol with slight differences. What the heck is this? Oh my God. Craziness. Are we eventually going to find out that all of the horrible diverse entertainment that have been funded by our tax dollars? I know the whole paying celebrity to visit Ukraine. That was crazy. No wonder every outlet out there tried to elevate Zelensky so much. And it's like a Hollywood, right, movie type thing. Try to influence you, right? Influence the masses. The same BS that they're doing for Adam Aaron too, remember, right? I'm sure somebody paid for that type of publicity. $84 million. That's crazy, man. Yeah. The party of the people, for sure. Oh my God. And again, they masquerade it on, oh, it's a charity. Bullcrap, they're not charities. Oh, little baby. All right, let's see. Okay, let's listen in.
No, it's not.
Okay, what's happening over here?
Hashtag leaving MAGA is now becoming a trend. But
No, it's not. You made that up. And if it is a trend on any social media network, liberals have done it. No conservative is mad about anything going on right now.
But see, I'm confused because we've been telling you motherfuckers for the past couple months,
Telling us what? See, this is the problem with liberals, right? When they lose, they just go apeshit. They go crazy. They just say random bullshit. They act like they know everything. You lost. We won. We're not mad. Everything Trump's doing, we want done. I don't know how this is confusing to y'all. I don't know who told y'all that it's not that way. But you're making it up. This is that alternative universe y'all live in sometimes. We're happy. Why can't you just go away?
You see what I mean? It's like, again, the algorithm is probably feeding her that, okay, people are mad at MAGA, right? And again, like, I want to implore anyone to kind of at least add some of the opposite point of view, okay? Just to get a different perspective out there, just in case its algorithm is trying to feed you what you agree. Because again, they figure out this, okay? The high tech, the algorithm that they're developing is that the more you show something that for the user, okay? The more you show them what they agree with or what they are angry about, that agree with their own point of view, the more click that they're going to get, the more engagement that they're going to get. And so it's just harvesting your attention. That's it. Now, that particular thing might not be evil in and of itself. They, the big businesses out there, Meta or whatever, YouTube or whatever, all they want is your engagement. That's it. All they want is that for you to stay on their platform as long as possible. Okay, the screen time. Because the more you stay on, the more ads that they could sell, to whoever, right? And so again, but the negative side effect of that would be you just agreeing. It's like, seeing that, oh, this is the most popular thing. Obviously, other people see this too, right? When in fact, it's not reality whatsoever, right? And then on the other side too, the gentleman was saying like, nobody's mad at MAGA. That's also not completely true. There are people who are, show some concern over here, obviously. Not everything Trump do is going to be good things for the country, okay? And so don't pigeonhole yourself that too. And, you would save yourself a little bit of at least some pain and agony, right? On whatever side you are on. And so don't be just one-sided, and then help save you too from being so angry. Female X handle. I have. It's the same. I just changed it to be more, invest better. This one here. I was creating this Twitter account in order to sell, GME NFT over here. So let me put that here. I don't know if it's gonna, do anything much. But typically I don't post anything, you guys. I just retweet a whole bunch of stuff. That, I was like, okay, this is good. I just retweet this one too. again, political base and all that stuff. But sometimes if I see something that I like on GME as well, but lately I've been kind of, kind of fall into this Doge thing. Dude, if this is true, it would be the craziest thing, right? But I don't think anything is facing me anymore. When you find this type of stuff that is happening to no wonder everybody is sick. Nobody is feeling like they're not living their best life or anything like that because of the food, because of the stuff that we're using that think that that we think is going to help us, but in turn it makes us sick. Okay, because it's a loop-de-loop thing. Okay. Have anyone wondering, like, in the past 10 years or even 15 years, I have not heard one blip about curing cancer. Have you ever wondered that? Like, where is the cure cancer crowd? There's no movement to cure any cancer. There's no need, because how can you make money by curing things? No, you make money by keeping people sick, keeping people in chaos, keeping people in anxiety mode, so that, more and more money go into the top companies out there, pharmaceutical company. And again, it's due to corruption, due to, like, people just being lazy and not wanting to do anything. And, it's being slowly eroded. And I think, again, people don't value that type of stuff because capitalism, right? The function of capitalism is to make as much money as possible. Now, if you combine that with, okay, just do that till the end of time. Don't worry about, harming another human being for money. Then you get stuff like this, right? You get the immorality way of making money. So until people elevate, people who are trying to make a difference, people who are trying to, be good to your neighbor type thing, you're not going to foster this type of thing in the corporate America. Okay? And so for the longest time, crude business people are vicious in making money at all costs. Doesn't matter how many people you hurt, doesn't matter how many people you harm, you make money, right? Who cares? So you have to combine, capitalism with compassion. But again, compassion doesn't make as much money until people value compassion more than money. But that doesn't sell, right? In capitalism system world. How do you fix that? Honestly, right? Because the way that you fix it is to combine the two. Yes, public funding is needed in some stage, because at least if the corporation out there are just worrying about money, then they're sucking value out of the economy. Only a handful of people with the most connection out there could win. That's bad. Monopoly is bad for everyone except the people that are owning the monopoly, right? And so if the company growing too big to fail, then everybody is failing except that group of people. And the people that have the monopoly, do you think that they're gonna just slowly relinquish their power? It's like, oh, just kidding, I don't want this power anymore. Like, that's never happened. You guys, come on. So you need some way to fight that system. If not, we're all doomed. We're all doomed, Okay, there's no way. So that's why, again, free market, that's what we want, free market. True capitalism used to be, okay, if you are operating in a terrible company, losing money for shareholder, scamming people because you think that the company's whatever, like Adam Aaron, for example. For example, I only take Adam Aaron's as a, because that's the only reference I have. So again, elevation, right? You have to kind of elevate the right people in power here. So, in my opinion, I think Ryan Cohen is doing correct by capitalism, but also with the compassion of working hard. Working hard for the little people out there. Sorry, you guys. I'm kind of like pooped out at the moment. I think I'm ranting too much about politics. USAID funded Gamergate. Yeah, I heard about that one. Man, it's crazy. Again, they're funding everything. It seems like they're trying to influence the masses. Okay, like, look, journalists receive a lot more. And that's not grassroots, you guys. It's nothing, it is truly people, wanting to participate anymore. Unless money is involved, right? So it becomes like that, where it's a do or die type of situation. I think for sure, money managers have to be very good at, kind of fostering, using money in order to promote positive well-being for the population. Like, there has to be a way for people to do that. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess as younger folks, and even for me, for my own personal, it's like I feel so like down sometimes. Like, how can I change the world? And it's like, well, it's just too much. But what can you do? You could only have your voice, and at least hopefully somebody's listen and implement it in their lives. It's very hard to change people's hearts and mind, you guys. Even with Gamestop too. Can you imagine how many people are actually not understanding what GME is trying to achieve right now? Even the people that are buying into GME right now, they still think that this company is overvalued, you guys. Overvalued. Not quite sure how, right? And so that's why you see nobody pay attention to GameStop right now at all, which is okay. I mean, more shares for me to accumulate, right? If it doesn't do anything for another year, you know how many more shares I'm going to have by the end of the year? A lot more than the year before. So there's nothing to complain about in the sense of like price action over here, unless you have call option that expire today. That's why, or in in a couple months. Then that's why you're like, do something. Ryan Cohen, do something. He's been doing it. Slowly, methodically, And we're about to post our earnings for sure. Okay, so Larry Chain tweets. Usually it's good to look into it. Expand on some posts. Okay. It's been a while. Okay, so he's gonna do one of those again, about 5 days. That's good. I like that. Oh, see, okay. This is why I bring up Warren Buffett. Okay. All the time when it comes to like investing. You know why? Because our leadership in GameStop take look, it's between a lot of wisdom here in the framework, in framing between inner scorecard and outer scorecard. I have no idea what that means, but just bear with me, okay? Okay, so you have Warren Buffett, okay, right here. It says, if you are comfortable with your inner scorecard, okay, I think you're going to be going to have a pretty happy life. So inner peace is much more important than outer peace. I think that's what he's trying to say here. People who strive too much for the outer scorecard sometimes find that it's a little hollow when they get all through. Right, all through. Sorry, I'm terrible at reading, you guys. But you could read it for yourself right here. But let's listen in here.
I got an awful lot of good advice from my dad, and he didn't lay it on me. I mean, he just, you picked it up from him, but there was never any of this, do this, do that type of thing at all. But I think he really taught me that it's more important in terms of what's on your inner scorecard than your outer scorecard. I mean, some people get in a position where they're thinking all of the time of what the world's going to think of this or that instead of what they themselves think about. And if your inner scorecard, if you're comfortable with that, I think you're going to have a pretty happy life. And I think the people that strive too much for the outer scorecard sometimes find that it's a little hollow when they get all through. I got an awful lot of good advice
true,
from my
you
dad.
guys. So true. Outside validation is what people usually try to get to, and to thinking that if most people agree with you, you're going to be so much happier. No, that's not it. And I think, leadership in GameStop, they're not concerned about what Wall Street is trying to talk about them. Whether Wall Street's going to come around and talk positive about this company or not, that's not their concern. Their concern is to bring this company to the point where it's undeniable at some point for anyone to talk about GameStop in the positive direction. Because they're not concerned about their outer, on the surface level here. They're actually concerned about, being healthy, right, for their own good, for the good of the shareholder, in terms of financial, right? And it's evident in our financial, balance sheets already. And it's so evident that, shareholder equity has been increasing pretty substantially over the year. And so the inner peace for GameStop is the fact that you are concerning about the customer well-being, customer service, right? And to be frugal when you have to be. Even though, yes, you have billions of dollars, you don't want to squander that by just, making it rain. And then you squander the opportunity that, maybe 10 years from now, you're going to have the ability to buy the best technology out there, that hasn't been invented yet. Okay? And so leadership has been thinking about long-term, prospect of the company for the longest time. For 3 years right now, I mean, the amount of progress that GameStop has been gone through in just about 3 years is immense already. And for some reason, people still like, that's too long. Oh my God. No, 3 years is nothing. In the business world, 3 years is nothing, especially in the retail space. I just watched Jeff Bezos. Let me see if I could find it. And it really, again, like, whether you think he's evil or not, that's besides the point. But at the earlier days of Amazon, okay, let me see if I could find it. You really, get to see how relentless he was at making something from something out of nothing. Okay. From nothing to something. Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right, so I don't think, hold on. Sorry, you guys. Because I think it's worth kind of learning about what is most important. Okay.
An invitation. And where's Amazon's headquarters? The public relations people told us to come to 1516 2nd Avenue between Pike and Pine in Seattle. But when we passed the pawn shop and the porno parlor, the wig store and the down-market teriyaki joint, we didn't see anything that looked vaguely cutting edge. No corporate drives or office towers. Just a heroin needle exchange and an old building called Columbia. But it had the number 1516.
Is this New York? I've never been to New York, but...
So we walked inside, and there it was, the logo known to every web shopper in the world. Upstairs, it doesn't look very high-tech either. More like a college dorm than a corporate headquarters. And then there's the boss. You generally hear him before you see him. It's the ear-piercing laugh of billionaire Jeff Bezos. Now, I've heard a lot about your desk.
It's a door with 4x4s.
Come on.
What?
I mean, you can afford a better desk than that.
It's a symbol of spending money on things that matter to customers and not spending money on things that don't.
What do you see the similarity? Okay, Ryan Cohen is also the same way, I bet. Not to that extent, but the point is that he's not spending money, on companies' dime. And so, without thinking about the most effective ways to, operating a business, right? If it's not serving, people, serving the company balance sheets, he's not going to make that choice. So, and before he spend any money for the company, right? I'm sure he's going to take his time to research, to do a thorough review on, okay, what sector can we improve on right now? And right now we're doing private label, right? We have a lot of trademarks out there that have collectibles and a lot of stuff, right? Behind closed doors, slowly. He's not going to telegraph it. Whoever realized, at the early on day, which is now, I feel like, and and see the value of GameStop right now is going to get rewarded so much. How much rewarded? Well, here, when people tell you, Amazon used to be just a bookstore. Just a bookstore? Jimmy is just a gaming company? A dying brick and mortar, right? There's a lot of that sentiment going around, even until this day, you guys. And so you have no idea how early you are right now if you're in GME right now. You're so early. It might be painful for you to watch. I get it. I've been here a little bit more than 3 years. So I know that pain. I get it. But let me assure you, I'm sure you're only the 10% right now that own GME. Not even 10%, probably less than 1% of the population that own this massive amount of the, at least a whole bulk of the company. Okay, depends on how many shares you have. Like if you have 51 shares or not, right? And so that's how early you are.
And you don't need clean carpets. What are these things on the floor?
Well, these are sticky balls.
Yeah, obviously they work. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's very impressive.
Remember, this man is a titan of our time, a giant.
What kind of kid were you?
Well, I was a good student. I always worked really hard. I was nerdy.
Started playing with
Let me
computers.
skip it.
In high school,
I'm sure
he
you
was
want to watch.
valedictorian of his graduating class.
Socially?
Socially, I was a little awkward, I think would be one way to put it.
Blind dates?
Not until, I didn't really date much until like my last year of college. I don't go in for carpe diem. I go in for regret minimization framework. Absolutely.
When Bezos left that Wall Street job in 1994, he followed that old American edict, go west, young man. He and his wife didn't know where they were going. In fact, the movers packed their things and were already on the road when Bezos phoned them to say he had decided on Seattle. His other big decision? Books. Sell books. Not in stores, but over the internet. The company took off like a rocket.
Did you read the Times this morning, New York Times?
Yeah, I saw the Times this morning.
At one point on Friday, Amazon.com's total stock market value surged past $30 billion, making it worth more than a major industrial company like Texaco. That didn't blow your mind when you read it?
Well, I think if you're asking for sort of an emotional response, I think it's very humbling, and it creates a sense of responsibility.
According to my calculations, you yourself are worth somewhere in the vicinity of $9 or $10 billion today.
He's worth $10 billion at this junction, right? And he still drives this car. People who are relentless at what they're doing, they're not concerned about proving to anyone that they own a Lamborghini, okay? That they own a mansion, okay? Because they're so content with what they're doing. And I think Ryan Cohen has the same trait here. Larry Chain or whatever, right? Same way, I'm sure at this junction right now, Ryan Cohen has more than $10 billion right now. But $10 billion then, I'm sure, has more, of a gravitas, obviously. Because back then, a unicorn used to be $1 billion, multi-billion dollars. Now you have to be $1 trillion company. So again, inflation, right? But the whole point is that, again, leadership, we have the right leadership here in order to carry us through that massive amount of share price that we're going to be able to enjoy later. But you have to do this slowly, you guys. You're not going to be able to get rich tomorrow, right? Now, again, I'm not saying it won't run. I'm saying that if MOAS doesn't happen, then what are you here for? Right? And so if you invest because of MOAS, get out now because it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful for you. It's going to be a slow ass type thing. Right? But I'm all for this, right? Because again, when people are FOMO into this because of the realization that GME is more valuable than any other company out there, that's when people are gonna misprice this like crazy. They're gonna be willing to pay $1,000 a share because they think, oh shit, I miss out, right? They're gonna be willing to pay for $500 a share because like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss out because the company actually have some, $2 billion. Gonna project to have $2 billion worth of revenue in the next 5 years. Oh, it's coming. Don't worry about it. It's coming.
I only say that because I've got a follow-up question.
Okay.
What's with the Honda?
This is a perfectly good car.
In July of 1995, from this modest ranch house outside Seattle, Bezos sold his first book. Today, he has 5 huge warehouses in the United States and Europe, packed not only with books.
Anyway, so if you want to watch that, you could do that at your own time. Anyway, so go back to Larry Chain here. Yeah, it's worth, again, it's worth, word of wisdom. The best way to get rich is to do it slowly. Remember Scott Galloway? Okay. All right. My Power Alley investment profile. Okay, this is the profile you're looking for. Founder who are good people. Check. Internet scalability. Check. Good existing market. Check. Capital efficient and profitable. Check. Strong growth. Check. One major flaw concerning attitude that scare away most other investor. Check. Again, like the scary part is that, it's the lies, right? That the media is trying to tell you. That GME is not profitable. It's not doing anything. Look, the price is still the same. Look, they're not moving. Look, Ryan Cohen doesn't tell you anything. Look, it's digital world here, even though they've been pivoting, right? They've been doing everything they can to at least increase shareholder equity or value, right? Increase the profit on the top line revenue side. Yes, they had to cut down bare bone because, again, inflationary. The whole world is shutting down right now. The whole world, sorry. Every company is struggling right now because of the debt cycle. And high cost of living, high cost of everything. So, how can you get ahead? Right? If you're too big, then you're going to spend so much money just to stay afloat. Why would you do that? Right? What is the point of having a business if you're struggling? And so on top of that, you make your shareholder, kind of lift that burden for you. No, that's not what Ryan Cohen is here for. He wants to operate in a business that will give shareholder value. And that's why we become a shareholder for the long term, so that leadership of those companies should be the one who do the heavy lifting for shareholder. Okay. Yeah. And they're doing it right now. While just silently doing their work, heads down, working hard, not doing any press. Okay. Not because he doesn't respect shareholder. No, he respects shareholder. That's why he used every moment of his waking hour to work for shareholder, including press conferences. Why should he waste 10 minutes worth of his time? Okay. To just tell you what you are seeing on the sheets anyway. No. And why would he tell you, people out there, what is the plan is? He has a plan. Don't believe in the bullcrap that he doesn't have any plan. In fact, he's already tell you the plan is. Just roughly, right? It's in that letter, the public letter. Go read it. That plan is still in motion right now. Okay. If you want to understand a business and only have 10 minutes, okay. First 5 minute origin story, people, problem, product. Okay, cool. Second 5 minutes, revenue mix cut. Wait, revenue mix cut all different way. What? Larry Chain is so cryptic. Mixed by. Okay, customer, sell channel, geometry. Okay, whatever that is. Not geometry, geography. Okay, products, category, customer acquisition, retention profile. Okay, margin profile. This gives you a snapshot of how the company comes to be and what the company looks like today. Okay. You can drive into any which direction from there. Okay. But this sets a good foundation of understanding. No, fundamental understanding of the company. About my pay grade, I have no idea what I just read, you guys. Seems like it's a good, it's a good thing. All right. Okay, what's happening? We're just gonna draw it out, you guys. Not much here. Okay, oh, that's what I was gonna check. Let's check out the option chains. Okay, all right. So it looks like we're hitting that 200 MA moving average about now. So should we bounce or should we go down? So that's remained to be seen. I'm sure they're gonna fight every moment of it. There's more lines for the Pokemon card, of course. It's gonna shock the world for sure, you know. And you just need one earnings report that will push this company so far. And by that time, you cannot catch it. You can't. Whether it's this report or the next one or the next one. If it's not this one, the next one. If not this one, the next one. So just be thankful that GME is at this price before that happened. So again, that's why I have such a FOMO. You know, it's like, oh, I gotta buy it now. I'm never gonna be able to. See, people should be FOMO into price action like this. Okay, boring, so freaking boring. And this is usually when Roaring Kitty strike too. Look at that. When did he strike? I bet you anything he probably just starting to accumulate around here. You know, to have 120,000 call option. Come on. At $25, remember? Was it 25 or $20? Something crazy, like either $20 or $25. I forgot. And so I'm sure he's probably buying a $30 call option right now, accumulating. Speculating. I'm not, again, don't make any choices. Don't make any, decision to buy or sell or any. Like, do your own research, you guys. Have your own conviction. You know where you are in life and where do you want to be. Simple. Have some inner peace. Yeah. Knowing, like the knowing is going to bring you so much more. Okay, so what is max pain for today? Okay, it came down. Yesterday it was 26, now it's 25.05. So I would predict that it's going to magically, at the end of the day, it's going to magically go up to that, around that around that price point right there. So let's see if I'm right. Because they don't want this put to be in the money, you guys. So because it's 3,000 contract, they're gonna have to hedge it later next week. See, 14,000 put contract was in the money. So again, I see similarity here when we were trading at around $10 a share. We had a lot of puts that were in the money. And so when that happens, of course, for people who exercise those put, they have the right to sell 100 shares at whatever strike price that they got it at. So perhaps the people that bought a whole bunch of, a whole bunch of share. Now, when I said people, it could be institutional as well. It's not just retail over here. Maybe they will FOMO into this spot over here and have to hedge. And usually when they hedge their portfolio is they buy insurance, and insurance is put option. Again, to capture some of that fall if it falls from here to here. Now, if you take a look at that, that's about 30% down, drawdown. I know it's painful to see for most people, but again, this is an opportunity, in my opinion. Okay. If you're not buying into GameStop, I don't know. It's crazy, huh? It's on a discount right now, and people are just running it the other way. That's funny. All right, so XRP not doing much there either. I really think, until the regulatory clarity coming in, Ripple lawsuits, settlements, and all that stuff, people are kind of waiting on that settlement. The lawsuit is still in place, obviously, but it's kind of drawing to the end. And of course, there's a lot of, speculation here. So I'm also waiting for that to happen as well. Hopefully, XRP explode before GME. Excuse me, sorry. In which case, I would have a lot more to put on GME as well. Even more than I have now. Can you imagine that? Again, GME is a forever company for me to always, buy in. What is this guy? Of course, he's a day trader, obviously. Okay, XRP. Okay. What's happening?
XRP and Bitcoin going to create a ripple effect in the world. I remember one of the executives was speaking on stage at a Ripple event, and he said, "We're here to leave a dent in the universe." And I know back then nobody believed it. And now we got confirmation that people are flipping on the train and the belief system that XRP and the company Ripple are truly going to leave a dent in the universe. And I'll continue to speak my truth on these recorded videos that I believe when all the dust settles, it will be Bitcoin and XRP. Bitcoin is clearly operating as a commodity, It is alchemizing gold, physical gold, into digital gold. XRP is transforming and radically rewiring our financial system as we know it. We can't continue any other way. The banking system is broken. America's financial system is broken, and the system is broken worldwide. It is time for a new system for the next 100 years. And here's the beauty in it. There'll never be an opportunity like this for you, your grandkids, and probably not their kids to take advantage and invest in the new system for the next 100 years. Just my thought. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. We're strategic, we're disciplined, we're consistent, and most of all, we stay out of the emotion. So the key to this is to pull yourself through a 30,000 foot overview because we're seeing all the chaos and emotions. And if you're emotional about these markets, and if you can't stand these sideways actions or these big pullbacks, you're going to get wrecked 100% of the time. And what I teach my warriors is to put yourself in a 30,000 foot overview, get in that helicopter and look down at the long term. If you look at Bitcoin or crypto specifically over the past 10 years, if you look at it in the short term, it's like this. So if your emotions look like this, well, guess what? That's what your portfolio is going to look like. But if you're able to pull yourself up to a 30,000 foot overview, if you're able to observe nature and how it works and understand, if you know nature, you know the markets. And then tide goes in, the tide goes out. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. And if you have faith and you know what you're invested in and why you're investing in it, just hold the line. If you get caught at the top, come sliding down, buy more. As it goes up, pull a little bit of profits, secure your family. I love you guys. We got this. Stay calm. Take a deep breath with me. One more, deeper. It's going to be okay.
Hi, Crypto Czar David Sachs saying his first priority is exploring the possibility of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Joining us right now in an exclusive interview to talk about that and so much more. David Marcus, he previously led crypto and payments at Meta, is the former president of PayPal. He's now CEO of Lightspark, a company he launched in 2022 that's building payment infrastructure on the Bitcoin blockchain. Good morning to you. It's been a while, but it's nice to see you, David.
Good morning.
Let's try to, we're sort of seeing this revolution, at least inside of Washington, it appears, around how Congress and how this administration is going to think about crypto and specifically Bitcoin and how you think that the things might manifest. If you could just sort of walk us through the permutations in your mind from a regulatory perspective, not just on the regulation, but also on the strategic reserve and things like that, how this changes things.
Okay, so I want you to observe and pay attention. Remember, this same gentleman who's reporting, he's a news reporter, but he's been pushing back on Bitcoin, pushing back on crypto, pushing back on the validity of it. And now here we are talking, he's now speaking and saying, hey, here we are. Bitcoin strategic reserve, regulation, the whole narrative is flipped on these guys.
Well, it's a brand new day for crypto in America, frankly. And speaking as someone who tried to launch a project and worked really hard to get it off the ground here at home and having it shut down by the US government, to having conversations about regulatory clarity of Bitcoin strategic reserve and really doing whatever it takes, frankly, for America to lead in this revolution that will completely rewire our whole financial system.
Oh, couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. That's what you're...
Again, it takes so long, okay? Sorry if I scare all of you. I'm still here. I know sometimes, you need some encouragement on topics to talk about. Because, there's so much to talk about here. And in the crypto world, it's so much changes and it seems like all at once it happens, right? People are just rushing in like crazy. But this type of narrative has been said 10 years ago, okay, on Bitcoin forum and, the niche group of people that were early adopter into that idea, and they got rewarded so handsomely, right? The people that got in the earliest is going to be the one that reaps the reward later, when the masses just pouring in and agree with you, right? So again, the patient for GME shareholder is that perhaps this is too early for most people to think about GME as this, massive mega company out there. I mean, we're probably on the precipice of that, massive adoption for GME. But again, it might take some more time, right, for people to agree with you. And when that happens, they cannot stop it. That's why, again, people will overprice it like crazy. Nobody wants GME at this price point right here, but they would want it when it's trading at $200, 10 times as much, because they fear that they miss out on the run already. So, of course, just stay calm, okay? This is decades in the making over here. This narrative has been pushed for decades ago. And now, when people are catching on to the value of XRP, blockchain in general, Elon Musk already alluded to that blockchain should be used for government spending. And so that's going to lead into, okay, which blockchain should be used for, the public to be used to track government spending. And so that way we could keep these people accountable, because they use your taxpayers' money. And we need to know where that money goes. And so, again, that way it's more transparent, so that, you could vote against it right then and there, rather than finding out 10 years later, oh shit, it was used for this, right? And then by that time, what are you going to do? I mean, the only other recourse is to claw back that money somehow, right? And so, but again, that's unconstitutional too, right? It could be seen as unconstitutional. But we have to rewire the whole system here in order to at least, and perhaps that's the next generation that we have to kind of at least, try to build it so that the rest of us won't be so controlled. I think it makes more sense. But again, like, the next fight for the rest of us, like the 99%, is to find ways to fight for your digital privacy. And that is coming too, right? It's going to come. The next generation of people going to be fighting for their freedom on the digital front. That no one person could be tracked. There have to be a way to do that.
Future is, guys. So get out of the short-term mindset. You have to really, really develop stoicism. You have to develop a calm mind. Make sure you're meditating, exercising, breathing, looking future, reverse engineering, and being present in all of this. So, Good Morning Crypto Abs posted this yesterday. Breaking: Mike Novogratz states, I was wrong about XRP. And you're going to see this a lot. There's a lot of big influencers now asking, what is this hype around XRP? You got Barstool Sports. I just totally forgot his name. My apologies. Who posted about XRP that he, just invested another million. So you're seeing a lot of big influencers starting to pay attention. So this is Mike Novogratz, a big Bitcoin person, talking about XRP.
I was skeptical that XRP would have lasting power, because Ripple, the company, owns 60% of them, now 55 or 50% of them. And I was like, that just doesn't seem a proposition that's going to work. And I've been dead wrong. Hats off to Brad Garlinghouse and his team. Ripple is now, a institution. The XRP army is real. They care about their ecosystem and their.
We sure do.
I'm telling you, the same thing's gonna happen to GameStop as well. Pretty soon, these type of people, Michael Pachter of the world out there, is gonna be forced to come online and say, "Oh, we were wrong about Ryan Cohen. Oh, we were wrong about GME." GME is now a power retail house. Power retail house. A powerhouse in retail, that focus on gaming, that focus on collectible, world famous at that. And so, yeah, that's going to come when, people at least notice. But by that time, when people, more and more people come to that realization, you would see stuff like this. Okay? You would see this. All of a sudden, just poop the other way. Okay? So are we on that precipice right now? I don't know. I feel like we're closer than ever, It's been 3 years, or 4 years, right? And so, I'm guilty of just like pushing it. Oh, if it's not today, it's going to be tomorrow type thing. But yeah, I'm here for that realization, that, people are going to have to be so wrong. And then by the time they accumulate it, they're going to buy it at, $2. Nobody want XRP at 50 cents. No one, right? No one wants to buy XRP over here because, oh my God, it's boring. Oh my God, when is it going to move? Yeah. And then all of a sudden happens all at once.
We sure do. I love it. Thank you, Mike Novogratz. Appreciate that. All right. So, Good Morning Crypto Post says breaking the U.S. subcommittee on digital assets is set to convey on February 11, 2025. The news just keeps coming. The title is called Golden Age of Digital Assets, Charting the Path Forward. Man. House Committee on Financial Services. Let me read that title one more time. The Golden Age of Digital Assets, Charting a Path Forward. Not will it be here? It's we're charting a path forward. Breaking, President of Czech Republic scraps capital gains on Bitcoin holdings over 3 years. Man.
I'm telling you, the massive adoption is coming to this space because they see the value in it now. Yes, they've been accumulating quietly while telling you that Bitcoin is scams and, whatever. That retail was wrong about this, that eventually it's going to go to zero. Even right now, there are people who tell you Bitcoin's going to crash 90%. Okay, if it crashed 90%, let's play that game. How low will it go? Okay. Well, hold on. From the high to the low. Let's say 90. There we go, 90%. Okay. So you're telling me that it's going to be worse than the coronavirus with all of this happening? It's hard for me to believe. I don't think you're ever going to see Bitcoin at $10,000 a share or a coin. Good luck. Try to wait for that. And even then, if you think about it long term, right? Everybody would buy Bitcoin at that price point. I think, yes, it may drop down to 70,000. That's more plausible because of this type of thing. Because right now, everyone knows what Bitcoin is, including the institution. Yeah. Now, anything is possible. Yes, I wouldn't rule out, $20,000 a coin. But as long as you think about the long-term horizon, right? Because every time it drops that low, it's going to inevitably ebbs the other way. Stock does not just go down until the end of time if it has any sort of value whatsoever. I mean, even AMC doesn't go down I mean, unless you file for bankruptcy, right? But Bitcoin will never file for bankruptcy. One Bitcoin will only be one Bitcoin, no matter how you slice it. Right? So there's no CEO. Like, that's also could be a double-edged sword as well, because you don't know what's going on. But this is code. And it takes so long to convince people to get into this network that it's going to take that long to convince people to get out of that network as well. So that's my logic about digital asset in general. And the fact that, you have the first time US president who is gung-ho on becoming number one of everything, and so he's just determined to be the first crypto president. You think crypto is not going to be doing well in this next 4 years? I think that would be naive to think that. So, again, this dip right here was coronavirus. Okay. That dip would scare any, diehard if you have money over here. No, this is not corona, sorry. Around here, right here. 2019. This is what the rich do best, you guys. They don't panic like retail. They just invest based on the macro. What is this going to be in the future? Back then, you don't have the clarity. Okay? Back then, you don't have the clarity, but it's still coming back. So before you scared of the drop, okay? Whether it's 40% drawback or 80% drawback, just know if you know what you hold, you would not be selling at that price because it would be undervalued at that point. Okay. Again, because of government around the world printing trillions of dollars every year to put into the market. Where do you think that money is going to go? And on top of that, you have banking system who just making money out of thin air, lending you out money that they don't have in the bank, hoping that the rest of us would be able to pay it back. And then on top of that, when they couldn't pay it back, now the value, for example, the real estate, commercial real estate, the money that they lend out, let's say $10 billion, right? Now the value of the real estate doesn't even give them $10 billion back. Because number one, those commercial real estate is too old. Those building is 20 years. Decades ago, depends on when they buy it, right? Toxic asset or whatever. And so they can't even sell those building for any amount of, so they have to take a loss, right? And so, but Bitcoin, you don't have to worry about that. But anyway, so it's a function of debt for sure. Hey Manuel, what's up? How are you doing today?
I really hope, promises made, promises kept from Trump. And it would be remarkable if he removes capital gains on crypto. I mean, just remarkable. It changes the whole game, right? Breaking: Trump media registers trademark for truth.fi ETFs and SMAs, including Bitcoin, Made in America, and U.S. energy independent funds. Bitcoin Magazine posted just in, banks have met the government officials to push offering custody of crypto assets like Bitcoin. This last thing I want to show you guys. New Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoin holdings worth $108 billion could make the creator wealthier than Bill Gates, according to a new on-chain research. Okay, so it's one of two things. They know who created Bitcoin, or you can't beat it, join it. I'm going to say this, and I know this upsets people when I say this, but there's not always a grand conspiracy going on. There isn't. It's not always something that we need to hang our hat on, and that's what they get us to do, right? A conspiracy. It's like they get us to grab onto this identity of this thing that is trying to stop us, and the truth is, it's us, right? It's a tool. Bitcoin's a tool. XRP is a tool, right? This water bottle is a tool. You know, it stores water, and I could take this water bottle and I could hit someone with it, right? This phone is a tool that I have. I can read the Bible, or I can watch very unethical things on it. So they're just tools, and there's always going to be darkness. There's always going to be light. The key is knowing the light is within you. It's what are you doing with these tools? For example, we take our wealth and we give back. We donated $23,000 to Habitat for Humanity to build a house for someone in need. It's a tool. It's a resource. We use our resources for good. So I don't get attached to the identity of tribalism or this or that, right? I get attached to God, family, protecting my ecosystem at all costs, and staying out of other men and women's business because I'm too busy working on mine. Okay. So the reason why I bring this up is because if crypto collapsed tomorrow, it's going to be okay because you're okay. That's the key to this. It's the message I want to get to you. To be the wealthiest man or woman in the world is to become wealthy internally. This world has taught us, the devil is the prince of the earth, has pulled us deeper and deeper, and that when you make $1 million in XRP, everything's going to change. Nothing is going to change. Nothing. You're only going to exacerbate who you currently are within. That's it.
So true. So true. Anyway, so if you want to finish that video, he's pretty good. Yeah, I love watching him. Oh, Moran's on. All right. So I didn't even know Moran's. Okay, I'm gonna go and watch him. All right, guys. I will just end it here. Obviously, I'm gonna continue to monitor. So I'm gonna watch Moran's right now. I will see you when I see you. Until then, maybe recap later in the night. Yep. Until then, have a good weekend.